Well, I don't know what's going on here this morning. Nothing seems to be wanting to work. So we're going to go here. Good morning, everybody. Anybody who might be watching this morning, we're going to try and get the stream running. And see if we can't get it on Facebook here. Good morning. Welcome to Rich Morning Coffee. And I need to go into my group. See if we've got a live stream going here. Do we have a live stream? Am I going live? I am not live here this morning. Very strange. I'm live over on Twitch and on YouTube this morning. Let's see if I can pull up YouTube. Go to YouTube and see what I can pull up this morning. I have my coffee in my favorite mug. Most of you know. And yes, that's my transmitter. Put that over there for now. This morning, we're going to talk about microphones. And I'm going to show you guys a microphone this morning that I've used for a long, long time, and I still use today when I'm out doing interviews. Sometimes I'll use it in a round table and things like that. Let's see. think I'm getting some on my channel. There's a live now. There we go. For whatever reason, I cannot connect to Facebook this morning. I don't know why. It's one of those things. I have no idea. Give me just a second. I got to unplug these headphones over here. There we go. Okay. What are we going to talk about today? Yes. I am wearing my mercenary t-shirt that I got from one of the boxes that I used to get. Yes, I'm showing you my back, which is very rude right now. But I want to dig out this case this morning. This case right here. And in this case, I'm going to pull out a microphone. This is a microphone that I still use all the time. Put that right there where it can be seen and we can get some focus on it. Oh, well, there we go. All right, so welcome to Rich Morning Coffee. My name's Rich, or Richard, whichever you prefer. And this morning, during my coffee, there's a couple things I want to tackle. In Calgary here, we've had some, how can I put this? We've had some very interesting art be put up in the city over the last few years. I've been a resident of Calgary now for about 12 years. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think that the art that's going up in this city, to me, is not really art. There's a big controversy. We have what's called the Candy Cane Bridge. Many of you may have seen it. Many of you may not have seen it. And if you haven't seen it, then it's okay. It's a beautiful bridge. The problem with that bridge is that there's tons of vandalism on it. And that bridge took a long time to build and a lot of money to build. Since then, they've done some art pieces around the city. One is a giant blue ring on your way to the airport. And who knows what the giant blue ring means. And it's just ugly. It has no significance as far as I'm concerned to the city. They paid way too much for it. Recently in the news, there's some Aboriginal art that was put up or to honor Indigenous peoples here in Canada and Alberta, specifically Calgary. One of the things that they did was they hired an artist from New York City. Not to say that that's a bad thing, because there's plenty of wonderful artists in the world. But what they did, and I wish I had a picture of it, I'd love to show you. You can go online and look for art in Calgary. And the latest news for this piece of art, it's a bunch of girders, like leftover building material, and pieces of steel and some slabs of rock that is supposed to represent Indigenous peoples in Canada. And the Indigenous peoples are upset because, first of all, it wasn't an Indigenous person who did the art. And I think that's paramount. If you want to connect with that audience, and just like anything else, if you want to connect with that audience, you should know that audience and have somebody who can communicate to that audience properly and have some insight to what that audience needs, wants, and desires are. This piece of art is just ugly. It looks like trash. It is made from, as far as I'm concerned, trash, and a lot of people in the city agree with me that it is just trash. On the side of the road in a boulevard that separates two pieces of a highway, it is ugly, and I'm not a huge fan. And I really think that an Indigenous artist could have done something better. The money would have stayed here. They paid $500,000 for somebody to take building construction trash and make an art piece out of it, which to me is insane for starters, because there's money that we can use for other things, infrastructure in our city, instead of giving it away to to the arts. And not to say that giving money away to the arts is a bad thing. It's not, because I think that we need to support our artists here locally before we start supporting artists in other countries and so on and so forth. So if you agree with me, please make a comment about that, because in all honesty, that art it's ugly, it serves no purpose, and I really think it should be eliminated. The artist, I've never seen any of the other artists' work, and who knows what it's going to end up being like in the future, but we need to get rid of that. And take that money and better use it for our infrastructure here in Calgary. We are 1 million+ people in this city alone. When the oil boom was on, this city just exploded, and there wasn't enough places for people to live. There wasn't enough rentals. Rental rates were through the roof. They have different rental laws here than where I'm from in Manitoba, but the cost of living here was much higher then. Since we went into an oil recession, a lot of people were out of work. A lot of people have left the province. A lot of people have left the city in favor of work somewhere else, because there's just no work here in the oil patch right now. It is coming back, but there isn't any necessary full-time work, not like it was. So I believe that money should have stayed here in Calgary and been put towards something much better than trash on the side of the road. Now that I've got off my pedestal on that, over the weekend, many of you know that I've been part of the Live Every Day in August and Live Stream Pros Challenge. And over the weekend, I get asked tons of questions. You know, how am I so comfortable on camera? What microphones do I use? So on and so forth. And here in the studio, I use the Peavey Procom. This is my patch. I have a little lavalier right here, as you can see. And that's the one I use here in the studio, because it's just me. For the most part, it's just me. And elsewhere, I use this guy. This is an Audio-Technica AT2005 USB. This microphone I've had now for 6 years, going on 6 years. I have 3 of these microphones. I really, really like them. And I'm going to explain why. First of all, they are a dynamic mic, just like you'd find on stage for a singer or a songwriter. Any band would use a mic like this. It comes with a windsock, comes with everything you need, all the cabling, so on and so forth. But nice things about this mic is not only is it USB, but it's also XLR. So I can stick this onto my shoulder rig. I can run a cable from it and do hand-to-hand interviews. I can actually run 2 of these off of the audio capture device that I have on my shoulder rig and get really nice, clean audio. Let me get a close-up of this. I'll just switch cameras here and get a close-up. I hope you guys can see that okay. So this is the Audio-Technica. It's the same length as a regular microphone. These things are built tough. It's an all-metal jacket, metal top. It's got a built-in windscreen, but they're not perfect. Here's what I really wanted to show you on the bottom here. I can't get much closer than that, but you can see that we have an XLR input. Over here on this side, we have a USB input. There we go. I can see that better. We have a USB input. You'll notice that there's a dial down here, and there's also another jack, which is a mini jack or a 1/8 inch jack. This jack here is so that you can plug in microphone or headphones into the microphone and monitor your feed. And then this little dial on the bottom is to adjust the volume of your headphones when you're listening to the feed. The beautiful thing about this microphone is because it has both XLR and USB, you can take this on the road, throw it into your laptop bag or wherever, and plug it into your laptop if that's what you're using to do your live stream. And all you're using is a USB cable. And it looks like a sound card to any computer that you plug it into. So it's a really, really decent mic. It does come with a little stand. I'm not a big fan of the stand that it comes with, so I would get yourself something like a desktop stand or a regular microphone stand with a boom arm, that sort of thing. But this microphone, I've had, like I said, I have 3 of these. I love them. You can see this one's got some scratches on it. They do get beat up in the field. And I really like using them because they give really good, rich, dynamic sound. So if you are a fan, well, wait a second, why did I do that? This is the one I need to go to. So if you're looking for a microphone alternative to getting started, whether you're live, doing a live broadcast every day, or you're doing a pre-recorded show and you need a microphone, if you go back and look at some of the old shows that I've done, you'll notice that there are a ton of these microphones in most of the shots. I used to have them on my boom arm, and that goes back to not having to spend a lot of money. This microphone was about, I want to say $80, roughly about 80 bucks. And it came with a USB cable. It came with a short XLR cable, came with a mic stand, and I almost lost it off the table there. There we go. There we go. Came with a short mic stand, like a little desktop mic stand, came with a microphone clip, everything that you need to get started using this microphone right away. So we've talked a little bit about that. I'm just going to check and see if this is running in Facebook yet. It is not running in Facebook, and I have no idea why. I want to give a shout out this morning to some very good friends of mine. One is Tom Sinclair. Tom and I, Tom taught me a lot about getting it back into broadcasting on a different platform. As many of you know, I was in broadcasting and I've served in a few markets as a radio personality here in Canada. And Tom Sinclair was helping me, or was one of the people that influenced me and helped me to make that transition from terrestrial radio to the internet. And I've done shows where I played music. I've done shows where we've talked about comic books and geek culture and computers and movies and all kinds of stuff. I've had some great interviews over the years. I'm going to play some of those interviews for you in an upcoming Rich Morning Coffee and go from there. If you're a Star Trek fan or a Star Wars fan or a comic book and cartoon fan, I've got some interviews that you're absolutely going to love. Through those interviews, I've made some lifelong friends, and we'll talk about some of that in upcoming morning coffees as well. I see that there's not a lot of questions. We did not get to Facebook today for whatever reason. I still have to do my Lita challenge for today, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do for my Lita challenge for today, but we'll get there. Now, it is excruciatingly warm in here today. I am sweating. I've got beads of sweat coming down into my eyes, and it's not normally this warm in here. So I'm going to say goodbye for today. Not goodbye. Well, we'll see you later. We'll see you tomorrow for Rich Morning Coffee. I'm Rich. You guys have a wonderful day. We're going to get some more sunshine here today, and it looks like it's going to be a fantastic day overall. I've got some work to do. I've got to do some recording today for a show. And till then, see you guys later. Bye now.